Hey, chat. Hey, chat. Oh, 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 oh.
David Dobrik.
Shh. Shh. No, shh. Whoa, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Hang on, hang on. Yo. Alright. Cam. Cam. Now hang on. Now hang on. Why am I like. Wait, is that like better? Hmm. Hey, chat. Chat. Wait. How do I. Um. Oh, beautiful. Wait, hang on. Yeah, I guess I'll do. Hey, chat. Say gang. Hang on, shit. Yeah, I want that. They say gang. Hold up. Can't wait to say hey, chat to some real freaking people. Connect, connect. All right, thank you. They say gang. Um. 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 Let's do that. Let's get like that. Perfect. Perfect. Did I want to do something? Or am I? Oh, that's right. Gotta make sure I can hear what's going on. Hey, say gang. Alright, alright, alright. 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 Alright, everyone chill. Chat's going off right now. I know. Alright. I have some things. I have a bunch of clips and stuff I want to watch. And that's probably all we'll do today. Hey, say gang. Alright. Now, can you? Alright. First thing I wanted to do today. I've been waiting for this. Like, I've been knowing this was gonna come. Pause. I knew one day we'd get a song with these two because it's like, I mean, they're both from the UK technically, but like, Central C is like the UK version of 21 Savage. Bro, who the is calling me right now? Hello? Good chat, good chat, good chat, good chat, good chat, good chat. All right. Anyway, um, and like, I'm just like, even though it's not like doesn't say featuring 21, we're gonna get a 21 Savage feature verse. Like that's what we're about to get. I know it. I know it. I know it. I know it. Let's. I'm so hyped for this. Wait, can you? Why is there a gold thing around my? Anyway. Oh, and it's like, and it's a Lyrical Lemonade video. Like you know, it's a banger.
If it went a UK, would have had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet on my trackie and air.
Hey, whoa! I thought for a minute he was about like, cause I've heard those lyrics. Let's see what it's from. No, I know what them lyrics are from. Hold up, let me have a look here. Central. Central Jesus. One by One. That was it. That was it.
If it went a UK, would have had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet on my trackie and Air Max. They want a boy with a London style. We ain't got generational wealth, got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay man £100,000, I can get man bum right in front of a crowd. That's GBP. The price go up if it's USD. Better watch your words, I get you X by the shit you tweet.
Damn, that was actually a bar. The price go up if it's USD.
Pay man £100,000, I can get man bum right in front of a crowd. That's GBP. The price go up if it's USD. Better watch your words, I get you X by the shit you tweet. I told lil' bro if it's personal, he better jump out and do it on feet. We got something in common with scuba divers, whack of the guys in deep. If it went a UK, would have had an AK gang outside with a samurai sword. Night tech fleece with an Air Force One. My ski mask on, but we don't snowboard. Go on a glide, leave your phone at home. What's wrong with these guys? They go and record. Sold a stroke, we was broke as hell. Well, until we broke the law. If I lived in Harlem, I would have been Mitch. Them man would have been like Ace and Snitched. If it was Oakland, I would have been a pimp. If it was 1930, North Carolina, I would have been Frank with a mink. If the ops got nominated for the Brits, would have went to the ceremony with sticks. And the G17 would have came with a switch. If it went a UK, would have had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet on my trackie and Air Max. They want a boy with a London style. We ain't got generational wealth, got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay man £100,000.
Bro's chorus is just milking two other songs. But I ain't mad about it. I ain't mad about it. I'm just saying, like, this is bothering me. Is that better? Oh, bruh. Like, he's milking two other songs.
Yeah. We ain't got generational wealth, got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay man £100,000, I can get man bum right in front of a crowd. That's GBP. The price go up if it's USD. Better watch your words, I get you X by the shit you tweet. I told lil' bro if it's personal, he better jump out and do it on feet. We got something in common with scuba divers, whack of the guys in deep. Latex gloves, I'm on the drill, watch them fall, Jack and Jill. Up on the op, 7 to nil, Premier League, I'm in the field. Two things that you'll never see is me run from a op or a bitch in my wheel. Got day ones and I'm with them still, fighting demons, swallowing pills. I still wanna deal with Nike, I can't get caught on no rings, so I'm inside out in the shiesty. We go through the front door, cause they gon' tell when that back door shit get spicy. Internet beef, if I catch you in traffic, the fuck you gon' do, nigga, tight me? I put this on God, I hit the bitch once, she already tryna be wifey. I'm from the street.
Damn. Damn. Hang on. He's spitting. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Type the guy? We gonna type 21 Savage? You gonna type insults? What are you gonna do? You gonna type insults to 21 Savage? Are you gonna type insults to 21 Savage? He doesn't care. He's got steppers. He'll get you. He's 21 Savage. You'll become an ad-lib, alright? Relax. Sit down, boy.
I can't get caught on no
What do you say after
rings,
that?
so I'm inside out in the shiesty. We go through the front door, cause they gon' tell when that back door shit get spicy. Internet beef, if I catch you in traffic, the fuck you gon' do, nigga, tight me? I put this on God, I hit the bitch once, she already tryna be wifey. I'm from the street, and I got ops, I don't got time to go sightsee. Wake me up with head, put this in your purse, and shut the fuck up if you like me. I fill up your closet with Birkins, buy you a wagon, and make sure you icy. Alright. If it went a UK, would have had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet on my trackie and Air Max. They want a boy with a London style. We ain't got generational wealth, got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay man £100,000, I can get man bum right in front of a crowd. That's GBP. The price go up if it's USD. Better watch your words, I get you X by the shit you tweet. I told lil' bro if it's personal, he better jump out and do it on feet. We got something in common with scuba divers, whack of the guys in deep.
Yeah, you know what I've kind of been noticing recently? A lot of songs that like get dropped by two artists in rap is there's like this new thing going on where one of them will do like one half, and then bang, in comes the other artist to finish the rest of the chorus. I'm there for it. I want more songs where they're going like bar for bar. I'm sick of this whole like oh, I'll do the chorus, then I'll do a verse, then I'll do the chorus, then you do a verse, then I'll do the chorus. Like, it's so boring. I want to hear you guys bar for bar. I want you to compete on the song together. Anyway, like I was, that was pretty chill. Like it didn't blow me away. I didn't care much for the chorus because he's just doing like it's just two songs. He's combined choruses basically. But Savage went off. He always goes off. Savage just knows. He knows what to do, and he does it so well. Okay. Now next song. Now we've got from 21 Savage and Central C to 1-4 and Abracadabra. Abracadabra. That is what it is. Abracadabra. Of course it is. Don't be stupid. Now, 1-4 isn't. Is there? It's not. They're not exactly popping off the way they were before. You know, like 5 years now. 5 years ago now. Damn. But they actually like I've been keeping up, and they dropped an actual somewhat like it was kind of a banger with what's the bloke's name? Nems. Anyway, now we got movie with Kadabra, so let's check it out. 1-4 when they're doing their drill shit, like it slaps. I ain't gonna lie.
You ain't gotta mention Netflix, cause round us it feel like a
whoa, hey yo.
You ain't gotta mention Netflix, cause round us it feel like a movie.
Damn.
Came from hopping them fences, now I'm shopping at Gucci.
This life that I live is a movie, but if you knew me, this is the true me. Real bad man from the ends and I'm fucking rich, why you think they won't shoot me?
Still screaming out free Levy, cause he got locked up for a shoot. And this is for all them rappers, cappers claiming that it's just music. And still I can't give no stories to all of the ops out here we're abusing. So I told my young and the boomer that he better blame at anything moving. Bro's been itching to squeeze it, give him the drop, he's hitting the target. Aiming and barking, trust when it comes to the members, we step fully, don't come half-hearted. Every time we've been thrown corner to ops, Lord knows when the war will stop. Them boys start mentioning big guarantee we all out, start touring the block. Hammers and swords, we trying to cause more than bodily harm. Bro, I asked if I'm packing, I pull my jacket up, and I let Ski know that I'm already armed. 4-4's in my palm, if I need shit done, I'm hitting the L's or R's, as long as you're throwing up 4s or O's for the farm. It's cool, I gotta mention Netflix, cause round us it feel like a movie. Came from hopping them fences, now I'm shopping at Gucci.
This life that I live is a movie, but if you knew me, this is the true me. Real bad man from the ends and I'm fucking rich, why you think they won't shoot me? Or B, we turn niggas calls. Before I touch road, I play till the law, never shutting for the YouTube, shutting for the calls. You wouldn't believe what civilians saw. I never up on the floor and he's bleeding, even a strap breeze cock when I squeeze it. Me, I can only rap what I live and I live what I rap, I can never be deceiving. Me, I can't leave the past in the past, so I'm mad at old judges, I will never leave it. Slap this teeth at the baby, 9 hours the TP, it's about hunting Steven. I back my shank, punched him in his face and took his gun, that's robbing, not stealing. Cause had a hunting stuck to his head, if he made a wrong move, then I would've said beat it. Look, I got shanked once and I caught him 5 years later and shanked him 7 times more. Bitch ain't the Lord that I never had.
Bro, that beat change was actually nasty.
If he made a wrong move, then I would've said beat it. Look, I got shanked once and I caught him 5 years.
Again? Hello? Hello? From where, sorry? Bro, get a real job, man.
Years later and shanked him 7 times more. Bitch ain't the Lord that I never had my gun, cause it would've been 10 from the Glock or more. Even though I'm on tour, all it takes is
I'm trying to listen to 1-4. Oh, man. God. Always. Like, every day, they stupid calls.
one call to my 1H's, I get your whole block call. I ain't even trying to rap right now, I'm trying to show you. We rise hammers like 4.
You ain't gotta mention Netflix, cause round us it feel like a movie. Came from hopping the fences. Now I'm shopping at Gucci.
This life that I live is a movie, but if you knew me, this is the true me. Real bad man from the ends, and I'm fucking rich. Right, they want to shoot me.
Bro, they see me out on the bar, swinging this flag with the hood taped off. Since 014, we calling the shot. We living them dread, we slapping them off. Don't lose control, cause you'll get delayed. And we got school kids that will leave your bladed. See, and you can't forget about 10. These boys, some actors, Robert De Niro.
We ran up the truth, we called them in. Stick come long, we shorten it. How many times we slide on the off? Slide on the block, go raw with it. Saying our trips are awful, easy. 5 in the back, we slide on the top. Why they talking about scoreboard? Really? Come on, buddy, you mad, you mad? Cause these days on the field, it's a relay. You don't.
Bro, like, I thought we left the whole hiding your face thing back in the past. Like, once when that guy got out of jail, I don't even know where he's gone. I haven't seen him in a while, but like, he took his mask off in that. Like, I thought, I was like, surely, if you're trying to build a brand image here, if you're 1-4, you can't just let everyone in your freaking neighborhood on the song, especially if they're like you've had troubles with the law already. Why incite them more?
Try to compete as an older. I'm more like a chauffeur, down game over. Hand it fold down to a soldier. I move white, I move green. I whip Benz and cane in that cola. Might see dippers out, but not strippers out when we swinging that. You stupid. We spinning a block like Rubens, Russian roulette. I got youngest, clutching the blade. The youngest a base, I ain't got blues it. Like raise up your arms, Sandy alarm, cause the off boys lose it. Too many of the upturn Judas. Somebody tell them boys stop losing. You ain't gotta mention Netflix, cause round us it feel like a movie. Came from hopping them fences. Now I'm shopping at Gucci.
This life that I live is a movie, but if you knew me, this is the true me. Real bad man from the ends, and I'm fucking rich. Right, they want to shoot me. Yeah.
Bro, honestly, the only part of that I liked was the first part of the chorus where he goes, "You don't have to mention Netflix because around us it's a movie," or whatever he says, you know. What's says, "Yo."
What camera is that? Is that Ray J's camera? Are you making movies tonight or what?
Hey, free my brother Mars. Free all the crashes. Gang! Hey,
Like, this one's good.
hey, Mars, stop twitching, boy. You know I see you, gang.
Should have gone on the Kid Laroi. I can't believe I didn't.
What's so hard? He's always on his phone, he doesn't want to talk to us.
What is that?
Be real, be real.
What do I get annoyed at Spinny does? But towards Spinny's alright. I'll give him a pass.
Karma, I've been seeing karma. I wake up and she gon' get me top in her pajamas. I'm gon' call up C and we gon' see if they want drama. Then kick up my feet and probably smoke some marijuana. Karma, I've been seeing karma. I wake up and she gon' get me.
Are there any lessons you've learned?
Make sure you rehearse. You rest your voice.
Make sure you go to sleep.
Yeah, make sure you get your rest.
Don't bend up.
Top in her pajamas. I'm gon' call up C and we gon' see if they want drama. Then kick up my feet and probably smoke some marijuana.
Alright. Cool or not? The song, like, all I like is the start.
You ain't gotta mention Netflix, cause round us it feel like a movie. Came from her.
Besides the like the rest is whatever. It's all kind of whatever, you know. Alright. Next. How to Train Your Dragon. How to Train Your Dragon Warrior. I don't know what that means. That's not the name of. That's How to Train Your Dragon. Oh my god. Live action. Yeah, it's just How to Train Your Dragon. How to Train Your Dragon is my favorite, like, kids animated movies ever, you know? What the hell? Studio? DreamWorks. What's DreamWorks movies have been made? movies. That's better. Yeah. Especially out of, at least my favorite. Oh, I love Edge. That's Gangster movie. But like, I like even Disney probably as well. It's my favorite. Like, it's just so good. I mean, it's got dragons in it. What more could you ask for? Anyway, so this isn't like the first trailer. I don't know what this is. In theaters June. What was the first? Was it the teaser? The last one. I don't know, but we're gonna watch it anyway. Bro, and thank God it doesn't look ass like Toothless. Thank God.
When you carry this axe, you carry all of us with you.
Dad, I can't kill dragons.
You know what? He's got a good, like, the voice. It's pretty good, like, you know, pretty on the money. And what's his dad's name? Solik? Or was that someone else? The dad looks pretty similar to the character as well. It's pretty, like, it's pretty good.
Dad, I can't kill dragons.
But you will.
I'm a Viking. I'm a Viking! I won't hurt you.
Bro, he looks so good. I know in the original he didn't have like that colored eyes, but I like it. Leave it. Oh, that's it. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, like really, like that looks really fake. This background, but it's just, sorry, it's just a trailer. I don't know why you spoil like one of the best moments in the movie on the freaking trailer. What the hell? All right, I'm hyped for this. I am a lot. I will probably be watching this in the cinema. I can't lie. Now, I exit. I mean, I wanted to watch stuff about the LA fires. However, I don't know if I can be bothered. Maybe like last. I want to watch this. Mr. Santee Zap. Weird name, but he's predicting every 25 entrant. Obviously, it's probably like, might be like half right, but I just want to like see what he's like. You know, I want to try and get hyped. You know, like of all the potential returns.
In today's video, we're going to be trying to predict every single entrant for the
No way! Predicting every. You're doing what your title says?
2025 men's and women's Royal Rumble matches. Now, I'm not trying to predict the order in which they come out because that would literally just be trying to predict the lottery. So I'm just going to predict the superstars that are going to be in this match.
Well,
I've got a collection
at least predict like 30 or something.
of superstars that are
Clickbait?
incredibly obvious, some that are kind of teetering on maybe they will, maybe they won't, as well as some shock surprise entrants. So we'll go through every person that I think will be in this Rumble, and I'll try to explain to you why. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I know that you're going to fall in love with his YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. And don't forget, we are doing our Royal Rumble watch-alongs. We just finished the
bruh, I don't
2013
need
Royal Rumble hiatus, or are away from the WWE altogether, and I wanted to make it so that this year's Royal Rumble match is the Royal Rumble match where they all just happen to return.
Actually, I can do this because it's not a music video. Yes, I'm using the kick template. What about it? All right.
I feel like that might be part of the reason as to why the Women's Royal Rumble match doesn't have anywhere near as many announced entrants as the men, because there's going to be a lot of surprise returns. Let's start things off with the only one on this video that technically isn't a surprise, that being Nia Jax, because as of the making of this video, she's the only one that's confirmed to be in this year's Royal Rumble match, and of course she's in the Rumble match. She's in Rumble matches past, and she's been dominant then, and she's going to be dominant in this one as well, probably eliminating all of our favorite wrestlers. The first return on this video, the return of Alexa Bliss.
Yes. Yes. Did I say yes? Dude, like Alexa Bliss is in my top 3, and not just because she's really hot. It's nothing to do with it, guys. Come on. Like, we're all grown-ups here. Alright? There's no need for petty, hormone-driven assumptions, okay? I miss Bliss.
Bliss at this year's Rumble match is something that I'm really confident is going to happen. The question is,
she has to come back and win a title. Of course, that's gonna happen. Because if it doesn't, well, what are you doing, WWE? But she also has to get in that white six scene, whatever you want to call it. Because mate, she has to get involved in that somehow.
what kind of Alexa Bliss are we going to get? Are we going to get the goddess?
There's so much history there as well with Nikki Cross. Ugh.
Are we going to get something that is quasi supernatural and spooky so that she can align herself with the Wyatt Six? Who knows? My preference would be the goddess, but the most important thing is that we just get the return of Alexa Bliss. Dakota Kai is being shoehorned as one of the workhorses of the women's mid-card. She was showcased heavily in the Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament, and I feel like she's going to be showcased heavily in this Rumble match as well. Liv Morgan, under most circumstances, she would be...
Oh. Mate, top 3 already. Like, this is Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss is in the top 3. I'm just saying it now. Look at that face. God. I don't care what Rhea Ripley calls herself. This is Mummy. This is Mummy right here. The things I do to be Dominic Mysterio.
My favorite to win this Rumble match, considering she's been the runner-up of the last 2 Rumble matches, but because she's just off the back of a lengthy World Championship reign, I don't think that she's going to be winning this year.
Well, plus, who's she going to fight? Rhea Ripley again? And I don't think they're going to do heel versus heel, with Tiffany Stratton. And I don't see her as a babyface, Tiff. And Morgan's on such a good heel run. Oh. They wasted her championship run. It was so... Oh, we got time to fill between, SummerSlam and Money in the Bank. Let's just give her the title. No, sorry. I don't know when she got it. So I don't know if it was SummerSlam, but I meant SummerSlam to WrestleMania. But anyway.
Year's Rumble. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if she's the runner-up again. Lyra Valkyria. We talked about mid-card workhorses. If you're gonna have the mid-card represented, then you should probably have the one that is holding your mid-card championship, and she should come out with the Women's Intercontinental Championship belt as well. Io Sky, my favorite to win, your favorite to win, everyone's favorite to win. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the Iron Woman of this match, and of course, I wouldn't be surprised if she wins the whole thing. Bayley, I don't think that she's going to be winning, but you gotta have a big name.
I don't know about Io. Because again, if she's a baby... Wait, she heel or a babyface? She's a babyface, right? So who's she going to fight? Because, I guess she could do Tiffany. But the only thing is with that is, I think Charlotte Flair's coming back, and I wouldn't be surprised, Plus Becky... Oh, so many options.
Surprised if she wins the whole thing. Bayley, I don't think that she's going to be winning, but you gotta have a big name like Bayley on there, considering she also just...
Dude, there's 30 spots that's going to be filled. Of course, Bayley's going to be in it.
Lost the WWE Championship match against Tiffany Stratton, and for someone to eliminate Bayley, that would be a huge moment for them, especially if they're a young up-and-comer. Speaking of a young up-and-comer that could eliminate Bayley and should eliminate Bayley, we're talking about Roxanne Perez. I feel like she goes out there, she has a nice run, she eliminates Bayley, thus setting up...
Hold up. What did you...
Roxanne Perez, I feel
Oh, she's in NXT. I don't really watch NXT. Okay.
Feel like she goes
So,
out there,
yeah.
she
I
has a
don't
nice
really-
run, she eliminates Bailey, thus setting up a major feud with Bailey in the lead up to WrestleMania. And after the Rumble, you won't see her on NXT again. I feel like this will be her full proper call up to the main roster. Bianca Belair, because duh, you gotta have one of the most dominant, most popular women that you have in the WWE in the Royal Rumble match. On top of that, she's always considered a favorite to win. On top of that, she has one of the more intriguing
many
main
tops
event
are there?
storylines that's just sort of looming over her, which is the question of who took out Jade Cargill. You gotta have Bianca there.
Oh.
Speaking of Jade
That's
Cargill,
still
you
gone.
gotta have the return of Jade Cargill happening at this year's Rumble match. She should be considered one of your favorites. I wouldn't be surprised if she actually wins the whole thing, as confident as I am that Io is going to, because she has that major storyline that makes it really intriguing to have her win, that being the storyline of who took her out. Another return, the return of Asuka. I don't think that this is going to be the
Damn.
return of
There's
the
so many
dominant
women out.
Asuka that we used to know and love in the late 2010s, but we need Asuka back in the WWE. She's a great veteran presence, and we love Asuka. Another return. We have the return of Charlotte Flair at this year's Royal Rumble match. It's already being teased. She's already getting vignettes, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's in the Final Four. I don't know that she's going to win the whole thing, but if she does, guess what? I wouldn't be surprised, because Charlotte just does big things and wins everything when she comes back from every single injury that she's had in her career. We had one mid-card champion. You got to have the other. Give me Chelsea Green in this year's Rumble match. And if you're gonna have the treasure of the United States, Chelsea Green, in the Rumble, you gotta have the head of Secret Service as well. Her
Dewdrop?
beautiful, delicious, spicy margarita, Piper Niven, in the Rumble. Let's
What?
get crazy here for the next floor.
What did you just call her?
Delicious, spicy margarita, Piper Niven, in the Rumble. Let's get crazy here for the next four. I've got TNA doing a little invasion at this Women's Royal Rumble match. The first one is going to be one that main roster fans already know, that being Jordynne Grace, who made a shock appearance at last year's Women's Royal Rumble match. She had a lengthy run and feud with Roxanne Perez in NXT, and now that there's an official partnership.
On a real note, though, how many roids is she not on? Answer in the comments.
Between the WWE and TNA, this is a perfect crossover star to bring into the Women's Rumble again, Jordynne Grace. Sticking with TNA, I think that we get Masha Slamovich. Masha Slamovich is the TNA Knockouts champion. Knockouts is women's champion in TNA, in case you didn't know. And last year we had the Knockouts champion.
Bro, she looks like she's from Alabama. What's like when two siblings have a child? What's that called? You know. Anyway.
Jordynne Grace. A few years before that, we had the Knockouts champion Mickie James. I feel like this year to
Inbred. Inbred. That's why.
continue the tradition
I'm
of
just
having
saying.
a Knockouts champion here, and
alright.
to further develop the relationship between WWE and TNA, that they give us the Knockouts champion again, Masha Slamovich. Nothing too crazy here. Candice LeRae has been featured quite heavily on TV, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's in the Rumble and helps Nia Jax throughout it. Let's go to NXT for a minute. I don't think that we get a call up here, but I do believe that they're going to showcase some of the best that NXT has, because so many people would tell you that NXT has the greatest women's division on the planet, and the leader of that division right now is the champion, Julia. I would not be surprised if they have Julia have a nice little run at this year's Rumble. And to continue to demonstrate just how awesome the women's division is on NXT, I feel like you should have the other top major star and top player that you have in the women's division of NXT, that being Stephanie Vaquer. And I feel like by having Stephanie and Julia,
Stephanie
this is
Vodka.
just WWE bragging to the world, showing you
Know what he
just
said.
how stacked the future is for women's wrestling in the WWE, when they have two of the best on the planet in their developmental, for God's sake. Yeah, you gotta give me Naomi here, especially if we're gonna have Bianca and Jade in here, and I do want her to have a nice little moment with the TNA Knockouts champion Masha Slamovich and TNA superstar in Jordynne Grace as well. Michin has been cooking in the mid-card, kind of like Dakota Kai. She's one of those workhorses. You gotta have her in the Rumble, because I do believe that Liv Morgan is gonna make a lengthy run in this Rumble match. Like I said, wouldn't be surprised if she's the runner her up again, she's going to have her bodyguard Raquel Rodriguez there with her for a good chunk of it. I know that we all love PFC, so let's just get them out of the way. Yes, I do think that Shayna Baszler is going to be in there. I do believe that Zoe Stark is going to be in there as well, but I don't think that we get all three of them. I think that these are the only two from PFC that we get. Let's give us Zelina Vega. The world loves Zelina Vega, and we haven't seen enough of Zelina Vega as like a singles entity for the last several months. Give us Zelina Vega in the Rumble, please. Ivy Nile is probably going to be in this year's Women's Royal Rumble match because she's been featured kind of heavily on TV as a member of American Made with Chad Gable. So yeah, sure, let's give her a spot. I don't love it, but Natalya is in like every Rumble ever. So to bet against Natalya just doesn't make sense. She's probably going to be in this too. Another return, this time from a short injury. Kairi Sane is going to make her return back to the WWE. She's going to take out PFC. She's going to align her.
I'm not gonna lie, and I ain't trying to be racist here, but all the, I don't even know if they're all Japanese, but I think they might be. All the Asian female wrestlers, why do they all wear similar attire? I don't mean like their ring gear or like the accessories. I just mean they all wear like a Ric Flair style robe. Why is that? Like, look, they look the same. They look the same. You could not tell the difference had you not have already seen the other one first. Asuka, she comes out. Look, you can see it there. She comes out like, I don't get it. But anyway, I'm just saying. It's a thing that I noticed. Yeah, it's just you know. Okay.
Herself with Io and Dakota Kai, and maybe have a cool little stare down with maybe Julia from the Stardom days, or maybe just have another stare down with Bayley. WWE just seems to love Maxine Dupree to fill out the
She looks like a skinny Natalia right here.
Of bodies in these types of matches. I wouldn't be surprised if she gets a cool little elimination on somebody big, but obviously she's not going to be winning this whole thing, but I do believe that she's going to be in there. Her big moment is probably going to be getting eliminated or eliminating Ivy Nile. And then the last major return that I have for this year's Women's Royal Rumble match is the return of the man, Becky Lynch. This is pretty much confirmed that she's coming back to the WWE, and if she's going to be part of the road to WrestleMania, what better way than to start it at the Royal Rumble match? I wouldn't be surprised if she wins, if she's the first ever women's two-time winner. I hope that she's not. I hope that they give us a new winner. But again, it's somebody that you should have in the back of your head as a major threat to win the whole thing. Becky Lynch makes her return at this year Women's Royal Rumble match. This really was the best match, man.
I don't want you to plug your channel on my stream. Even though I'm abusing your content, I'm sorry.
To create the most stacked men's Royal Rumble match possible with the roster that you have available in 2025. And WWE is already doing a pretty good job of that just based on the names that have already been confirmed to be in this year's Royal Rumble alone. We already have Seth Rollins to be one of those confirmed Rumble entrants, and Seth Rollins is a perennial main eventer, somebody that is a first ballot Hall of Famer, somebody that can main event WrestleMania and nobody would question it. This is a guy that is a serious threat to win it, mostly because he has so many variant storylines that you could go with, all of which could be in the main event of WrestleMania with the likes of Punk, with the likes of Cody Rhodes, with the likes of Roman Reigns. There are so many things that you could do with a Seth Rollins Royal Rumble victory. And you can say pretty much everything I just said about Seth Rollins and say it again about Drew McIntyre, who also has so many variant paths to WrestleMania, all of which could be in the main event, all of which could start with him winning the Rumble match. Drew McIntyre is another huge threat and another one of those names that makes this one of the most stacked Rumble matches in a very long time, if not in the history of the WWE. And it doesn't stop. We already have CM Punk to be confirmed in this year's Rumble match. He was in last year's Rumble match. Got it.
If Punk won. I think he's won before, hasn't he? Oh. Or am I just making that up? Okay, maybe not.
injured in last year's Rumble match, was the runner-up of last year's Rumble match, and is my favorite and many people's favorite to win this year's Rumble match as well. Not to mention,
Hey now. Wait, what if I do this? Oh, that's why.
John freaking Cena, a two-time winner of the Royal Rumble match, and I wouldn't be surprised if the WWE gives him the third victory so that he can tie Stone Cold Steve Austin, go to WrestleMania, face Gunther, win his 17th so that we can have a merry, jolly old John Cena retirement tour. Yeah, John Cena, obviously, you know he's in this. And then Roman Reigns. It just keeps getting crazier and crazier. Roman Reigns hasn't been in the Royal Rumble in like nearly half a decade, because in the majority of that half decade, he's been an undisputed champion, and that here he is, one of the favorites to win this year's Rumble match. The weight of the name Rey Mysterio maybe doesn't have the same oomph as it did in like the Ruthless Aggression era, early 2010s, but it's still Rey freaking Mysterio, who is the last person as of the making of this video that's already confirmed for this year's Rumble match. Another perennial main eventer and Hall of Famer, just to continue to add to the names, the crazy names that are in this Rumble. Carmelo Hayes, he's been the workhorse of the mid-card on Friday Night SmackDown, facing off against pretty much everyone, whether it's going for the US title, beefing with Cody Rhodes, having matches with Randy Orton, whatever it might be. If you need a good showing with somebody, you just send out Carmelo Hayes and it's going to be great. You're going to have Carmelo have a nice lengthy run in this year's Rumble. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Carmelo comes out at number 1 and this guy, Trick Williams, comes out at number 2, thus signaling to the...
Why? Because they're both skin colored? That's so racist.
World, the call-up of Trick Williams. Trick Williams just recently lost his NXT championship. He's been kind of in limbo. He's been saying, I don't know what's next for my career. I think what makes sense here is a call-up, and a great way to call him up is to immediately insert him with a program and a feud with Carmelo Hayes. WWE's shiniest new toy, Penta Cero Miedo, is going to be in this Rumble match, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he has the Kofi Kingston spot of like the crazy elimination save. He might not be the sexiest name in terms of like a superstar that you would put on a billboard and would main event WrestleMania, but everyone loves and respects Chad Gable for his work. I
what is this guy saying?
Expect Chad Gable to be in this year's Rumble. I don't think he's gonna win, but I think he should have a nice showing. Bum bum bum. Aleister Black joining back with the WWE. Aleister Black, formerly Malachi Black, is leaving AEW, and it looks like he is bound to the WWE, and I would not be surprised if we see the return of Aleister Black, another name jumping from AEW to the WWE, reappearing to the main roster fandom at the Royal Rumble, much like Andrade did last year. Speaking of Andrade, we're going to have Andrade here. In fact, I think it'd be kind of cool if we have something between Andrade and Aleister Black in this Rumble match. Shinsuke Nakamura, I like having mid-card champions in the Rumble, and I'm not going to change from that stance. I had both mid-card champions in the Women's Rumble. I'm going to have both mid-card champions here. In fact, let me just stick with it. Braun Breaker is going to be in this year's Rumble. Unlike
100%.
Nakamura, though, I feel like he could actually be a threat to be a sneaky winner. He already had that little face-off that hasn't quite developed into anything against Braun Breaker a couple of months ago. Maybe it was planting the seeds to Braun Breaker winning the Rumble match and setting up Braun Breaker versus Gunther at WrestleMania. Seems like a far stretch right now, but I don't think it's an impossibility. But the thing I'm predicting here is that both Nakamura and Braun Breaker are going to be in the Rumble match. LA Knight, one of the most popular WWE superstars, he's going to be in this Rumble match. I wouldn't be surprised if he has beef in this Rumble match with members of the Bloodline and Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and maybe Jacob Fatu gets eliminated or he eliminates Jacob Fatu. Another surprise to add to how stacked this Rumble is. I have Joe Hendry making that crossover leap from TNA to WWE and appearing in this year's Royal Rumble match. He already had a nice lengthy run in NXT where he actually competed for the NXT Championship at an NXT PLE. So he already has the trust of WWE top brass to be in major events for the WWE. On top of that, aside from the fact that we have a working relationship between WWE and TNA, as of the making of this video, I don't know the results, but Joe Hendry has a world title match in TNA against Nick Nemeth, formerly Dolph Ziggler, and I wouldn't be surprised if this
Dude,
man
I'd
right
love
here
if
is your
Dolph
new
was in the
TNA
Rumble.
champion so that he can waltz into the Royal Rumble match as the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, much like we had Zachary Wentz go into his PLE match as the X Division champion, and much like Jordan Grace got to walk into a couple of matches, including the Rumble match last year, with a TNA Knockouts Championship. I feel like TNA wants to showcase their top guys, and this is one of them. Braun Strowman. He's become one of my favorites recently. I used to not like Braun Strowman. I used to be very much anti-Braun Strowman. I found him boring and lame, and now he's incredibly exciting and fun. I want him in the Rumble. Jacob Fatu. I'm expecting Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu to absolutely kill each other at Saturday night's main event, so maybe it's possible that neither of them make it to the Rumble, but I feel like we should have both of these guys. Jacob Fatu is that guy that you want him staring down with everybody that the WWE has to offer, and the best place to give us
Yeah.
those cool once-in-a-lifetime stares
I reckon we'll have a standoff with Roman and him in the match.
downs is the Royal Rumble match. If you're going to have Jacob Fatu in here, I feel like you got to have his running body and Tama Tonga in here as well. Not like he's a threat, because he's a threat to absolutely nobody and isn't going to win anything, but Finn Balor is still a big name that
Bro,
I want to
what-
see in the Rumble match. I don't want to see all of
Shit on his
Judgment Day
name.
taking up spots, but I do want to see another Judgment Day member, that being Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Don't be surprised, and this is going to be crazy to say, I feel like he can be the Iron Man of this Rumble, just being sneaky and staying away from everybody and not getting himself in danger. I could see Dominic legitimately being in there for the longest amount of time compared to anybody else at this year's Rumble. Damian Priest, all rise, all fries, whatever it is that you want to say. This guy's been so dominant. He's a main eventer. He's going to be in the Rumble match for sure. Jey Uso, which kind of, I guess, is telling you what I think is going to happen at Saturday night's main event, which is he's not going to win the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, that'd be nuts. It'd be crazy. And maybe it does happen, but if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say that it doesn't happen. I think that Jey Uso is going to be in the Rumble. If we're going to have Jey, let's have Jimmy in there as well. In fact, if we're going to have Jey and Jimmy, let's just complete the original bloodline and have Sami Zayn in there as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a moment in this Rumble where all members of the original bloodline are in there, including Roman Reigns. Karrion Kross, not my favorite, but he's featured heavily, and you know what? For the role that he has, he plays it pretty well. I feel like he's deserved a spot in the Rumble. Logan Paul, this man is full-time. He's not full-time. He was going to be on Raw Netflix. Haven't seen him since. Maybe he returns at the Rumble, and then after the Rumble, he becomes a regular mainstay of Raw Netflix. We'll see. But I am expecting the return of Logan Paul at this year's Rumble.
Whole gang.
We talked about workhorses of the mid-card, and right now, one of those workhorses of the Monday Night Raw mid-card is Ludwig Kaiser. I would love to have Ludwig Kaiser in this year's Rumble. And Sheamus, why not Sheamus be in the 30-man Royal Rumble match? He's a former Rumble winner. He's somebody that's been in the main
Shit,
event,
yeah,
first
he
ballot
is.
Hall of Famer, somebody that has just been destroying in the mid-card. I feel like he's a great choice here, and that rounds out all 30. And because I'm a sadistic son of a bitch, why not? I will buy into the rumors that The Rock is number 31, that after all 30 are out there, there's going to be one more countdown. Look, I feel like the likelihood of this happening is so low, but I'm going to kick myself if it happens and I don't have The
Dude.
Rock on here. Look, everything indicates that The Rock is
Alright, that's enough. It'd be really gangster if that happened, though. I've been seeing that rumor as well. But, like, I mean, if it happens, he's not going to win the Rumble because he's not going to be here for Mania. It's already confirmed. So, I don't know. It only really makes sense if someone related to him, his sort of like his. Oh, I guess. Like, imagine if Punk. Oh, that'd be interesting. Punk, like, wins the Rumble. Then the countdown goes. Number 31 comes out. It's The Rock. What if we had The Rock, Roman Reigns, and Punk in his last story? Okay, anyway, like, I'm hyped for the Rumble. The Rumble's always, you know, it's always, there's never, even when the Rumble's bad, it's still good. So, we'll see what happens. I'll probably just group the next two videos together. But some NRL shenanigans. I have no idea who this guy is. I've never watched anything from him. He's got more subscribers than me. That's what I'll say. But every NRL team rostered in 14 minutes. So, you know, I'll give him a chance.
Now I know what you're all thinking. I clicked on a Leaguey video. Who is this man? He is clearly not the Leaguey. He's not even wearing a suit. Well, I've got news for you. I can wear what I want because I am on holiday. And while I should probably be enjoying the pristine beaches of the tropics, please don't hate me for what I'm about to say about your club. Much like the prevalence of boganism, we're going to start up north and work our way down with this one. So Cowboys, you're first up.
Alright. What
The
do you have to
Cowboys
say?
play in Townsville, a place so hot at points during the NRL season that their players are known to turn violently red while playing there. Despite experiencing premiership success more recently than the Broncos, the Cowboys are still seen as their little brother. This comes despite the fact that the two clubs play over 1,300 kilometers apart and have literally...
Oh, roasted. Right. I'm so dumb. I looked at that and thought that's no
nothing to do with
He's
each
a
other.
roast.
Their head
He's a
coach Todd Payton is
roast.
absolutely the most alpha male looking coach in the league, and fun fact, is the only coach to sport a half decent beard. Though I will say he has an annoying habit of shaving the entire thing off unexpectedly and thereby transforming into handsome Squidward. If you ever find yourself nearby a Cowboys fan, whatever you do, don't mention the terms 2015, 15, Golden Point, or headgear, because I can guarantee you will be made to watch 2015 grand final highlights if you do.
Under the sea. Under the
How you about to roast a team that's only been
The
in for 2
NRL's
years?
newest team have really impressed people since entering the league in 2023. Despite assembling what might have been the worst roster on paper in NRL history in their inaugural year, they've managed to be in the finals race both seasons they've existed. If you're a fan of Vanilla Coke branding, this is the team for you. And if you are on a diet, there is Vanilla Coke Zero branding also available. The only problem with the Dolphins is that they are literally homeless. They have no place name. They stem from the
Yeah, I
Redcliffe
hate
Dolphins,
that.
so they're kind of from Redcliffe, but they play most of their home games in Brisbane, but they can't be the Brisbane Dolphins because there's already the Brisbane Broncos. So rather than sit around and actually put the effort into deciding on a place name which works, they just sat around and thought, you know what, we're going to pick literally nothing. And honestly, I respect it.
Just hard to get your head around what actually happened.
Somehow this club is still seen as one of the most attractive organizations to be part of in the NRL, despite the fact that they haven't won a premiership since 2006. That being said though, if you are a teenage girl, the Broncos have you covered. In the last couple of years alone, they've had the likes of Reece Walsh, Jordan Ricky, Patrick Carrigan, Herbie Farnworth, and of course, Corey Jensen. Despite being the club most synonymous with Queensland, their captain and their coach are both from New South Wales. The Broncos do routinely get the highest crowds in the league, although that's just about the only leaderboard they're ever on top of.
You make sure
Oh, don't do it to the Titans.
forever the night they play the Titans.
If you're a Titans fan, I would like to express my condolences for your condition. Somehow the Titans are like one of the most exciting, attacking-oriented, free-flowing teams in the Premiership, while also being soul-crushingly depressing to support. The Titans are just there. No one even really dislikes them because they're simply not relevant enough for anyone to care. It's like they took the concept, what if an NRL team was a filler episode, and just absolutely nailed it.
I can't disagree.
I feel like nobody dislikes the Newcastle Knights more than their own supporters. But they're probably my favourite fans in the league. Newcastle being a historically very blue-collar city means that their community is intrinsically tied to their footy team, and their fans will show up no matter where the Knights are on the table. The thing with Newcastle is that they both struggle to attract players and struggle to keep the players that they have, and yet somehow still kind of do okay. Well, aside from the 3 consecutive wooden spoons they won in 2015, 16, and 17. If you're looking to be part of a fan base with a tremendous amount of heart and passion, but you also want your human rights to be violated by your team every weekend, then welcome to the Newcastle Knights.
What? Bro! Scream.
The old adage is that everybody hates Manly and Manly hates everybody. Hate for their players certainly increased back in 2022 after 7 of them refused to play in a game after the club announced that they'd be playing in a special Pride jersey to support the LGBT community. The players said it was against their religious beliefs to play in that jersey. My personal opinion on that whole situation is Sorry, the camera stopped recording there for a bit. I'm not sure where I got up to, but anyway, as I was saying, their head coach has the roundest face in the Premiership. Their captain has the longest neck in the Premiership. Yes, that is a real photo. But realistically, none of that matters because Jake Trbojevic is the nicest human being in the world, and that cancels out anything you could ever possibly make fun of Manly about.
Just to see how you gonna roast.
What can I
the
say
team
about these guys? They were an absolutely bang average team for a really long time, and then finally realized that they have the best junior rugby league heartland in the world, and now have won 4 premierships in a row. The only weakness is Isaiah Yo's hairline, so aside from that, I'm not even gonna try with Penrith.
If you want to see how football's played, then come and see the Eels.
Parramatta though, boy can they be the butt of a joke. Longest premiership drought in the NRL, not having won a comp since the 80s. In the time since the Eels last won a premiership, Australia has gone through 9 prime ministers. 9. The Eels actually did make a grand final though recently in 2022. They were realistically never going to win the game, but you know, they were there, which by Parramatta standards is pretty good.
Fuck, here we go.
Sorry. Parramatta are a really tough act to follow, but the Tigers recently, god damn. These guys have finished last 3 years in a row. In 2023, they became the first team ever to finish last one season and finish lower the season after. The West Tigers are one of 2 teams in the Premiership who are an amalgamation of 2 pre-existing teams, the West Magpies and the Balmain Tigers. And the board members aligned to each side are constantly in a power struggle against each other. The positive side of being a Tigers fan is that you're constantly receiving media updates about everything that happens in your club. The negative side about being a Tigers fan is that you're constantly receiving media updates about everything that happens in your club.
That wasn't that bad, I guess.
Ah, the Roosters. I said earlier that everyone hates Manly, but everybody hates the Roosters. These guys come from the eastern suburbs of Sydney, the wealthiest part of Australia, a demographic that produces absolutely no rugby league players. And yet, they're one of the most successful teams in the modern era. How did they do this without juniors, I hear you ask? Well, it's a simple technique called stealing everybody else's. So yeah, if you're a Roosters fan, be prepared, 1, for nobody to like you, and 2, to spend at least an hour a day arguing that your team is in fact under the salary cap. And of course, their, let's say, less sophisticated rival. Like the Roosters, the Rabbitohs date back to 1908. Although they did kind of cease to exist in 2000 and 2001 after they were kicked out of the Premiership for being a basket case. On one hand, this is the most successful club the NRL has to offer, having a record 21 premierships to their name, and Souths fans love to remind you of that fact at any given opportunity. On the other hand, they've only won 1 premiership in the last 53 years, which is what everyone else loves to remind Souths fans.
Damn,
The Rabbitohs refer to themselves as the pride of the league, which is a bit like me referring to myself as a hottie. Just because you say it doesn't make it true. Doggies fans really found their voices last year after a run of seasons where they finished 11th, 12th, 12th again, 15th, 16th, 12th, and 15th. It's amazing how many rusted on die-hard fans come out of the woodwork when you finally finish in the top half. It'll be interesting to see just how many of them actually stick around when they inevitably go back to crippling mediocrity.
Now when the Saints go marching in.
The Dragons, the second of the 2 merger clubs in the NRL, being the love child of the St George Dragons and the Illawarra Steelers. I've got to say, Illawarra, you guys got absolutely rinsed in this merger branding wise. Whoever negotiated this hybrid logo on your behalf was clearly an inside agent. It feels like every preseason in recent history, people predict these guys to finish last, and yet somehow still at the end of every year they seem in and around the top 8. I think for that reason I'm happy to award them the title of the single most mediocre team in the NRL. They're also by far the most family oriented team in the NRL, last season boasting 2 sets of twins, 1 set of brothers and a father-son coach-player duo. Which is on brand because nothing says keeping it in the family like Wollongong.
That's It's an
The
Alabama
Sharks have
joke.
existed for nearly 60 years and only have one premiership to their name. That was won back in 2016 when their front
Hang on,
rower
what?
Andrew Fafito decided to turn into... The Sharks have existed for nearly 60 years and only have one premiership to their name. That was won back in 2016 when their front rower Andrew Fafito decided to turn into the greatest athlete in human history for 80 minutes. It's a victory they're still living off the coattails of nearly a
Bro, imagine, like, Storm could have a few more titles.
decade later. Cronulla recently spent 2 seasons playing away from their historic Shark Park Stadium while it was being renovated. When they finally returned to it, it was exactly the same, but about 30% smaller. Honestly, that ground is such a shambles that sources can't even agree on how many people it holds. The Sharks themselves claim it holds 20,000, and there's a Wikipedia article that agrees with that, but then there's another Wikipedia article that says it holds 18,000, and then austadiums.com says it holds 15,000. And for the last 3 years, it's apparently only held 13,500. And the club do love to boast about their sellout crowds every home game, despite the fact that they average the lowest attendance in the league. Good job, guys. I remember growing up and just getting the sense that these guys were a little weird and unique, and I've got to say, Little Leaguey was spot on. The Raiders play in lime green, weird and unique. They're from an inland city that exists for purely artificial reasons that also happens to be the capital of the country. Weird and unique. They've had the same head coach for over a decade, despite the fact that with the exception of one grand final 5 years ago, they've been a pretty bang average team under him. Weird and unique. Their fans refer to them as the Milk because of a sponsor that they used to have. Weird and unique. And they welcomed their team onto the field by doing a Viking clap that was inspired by the Icelandic soccer team from the 2016 Euros. Weird and unique. But their fans do not care. Realistically, the struggle of convincing players to unironically live in Canberra means that their chances of premiership success in the near future are pretty much zero, but it's cute that they try.
A Storm? How can you
And
bully
the
them,
Storm,
hey?
our most dominant club in recent decades, despite the fact that they come from a city where absolutely nobody cares about rugby league. You know when a sports team is so dominant for so long that they become genuinely boring? That's these guys, except they're doing it while under a salary cap. Okay, sorry. Storm fans, I know it was a long time ago now, but did you really think I was going to get through this whole segment without mentioning the salary cap? The Storm had 2 premierships stripped away from them after they were found to be egregiously over the limit. To be honest, I'm not sure there will ever come a day where that scandal is truly lived down. Unfortunately though, that is like the only thing that you can make fun of the Storm for. I really don't have any other material to work with here. Oh, no, there was the fact that they lost a grand final 40-0. Oh crap, I forgot the Warriors.
Up the walls! Up the walls! Up the walls!
This year is our year. Those are the 5 most spoken words in Auckland every March. Despite the fact that the team inevitably finishes 12th come the end of the season. If
what?
premierships...
What the hell's a... What does that even mean?
To one on vibes though, these guys would be living. They know their way around a retro jersey better than anyone, and they've had cult heroes like Sean Johnson.
That's enough of you. It wasn't too bad actually, got a few laughs out of me. Now to the real business. Moa's NRL 25 season preview. I think he's doing... Oh, they must be doing Tigers, Rabbits, and Eagles because that was the bottom 3, wasn't it? Yeah, he starts off with us, then Eagles next. What does Rabbits come? Wait, Rabbits? Oh, is it Rabbits? Oh. Alright.
For this segment for a long time. It could
See
do
what they have
great
to
things,
say.
I believe. It's time for one reason why. Now, we set it up at the start of the show, but we'll do it again. So we want one reason why the team that we're going to break down can make the top 8, and also one reason why they can't make the top 8.
Hold up. Pause. All right.
So NRL season kicks off obviously in Vegas March 2, which means we've got
Sit up.
7 shows between now and then. So we're going
The
to break
headphones ain't
down
going properly now.
in little chunks a few teams to go, why they can, why they can't. Now, obviously, the lower the table, we might look at maybe a top 8 ascendance or miss the top 8 again. Mid-table, we might think about a top 4. And then the pointy end, I'm talking the likes of the Panthers, the Storm, the Broncos even.
Yep.
Ignoring their result last year.
Well, Broncos would be up next, wouldn't they? They're not too far away.
They must be, yeah. So we're going to have to be really malleable next week when we look at them, because we're probably going to have to think about talking about them in a sort of premiership sense. But this week, we're diving into the West Tigers, the Bunnies, and the Parramatta Eels. So as I said, the question, one reason why they can, one reason why they can't make the top 8. We're going to kick it off with the West Tigers. Now, a bit of a recap. So the whole world knows heading into 25, they've gone 3 spoons on the bounce. Going into their second year of Benji as, you know, the actual full-time head coach, there's been all this unrest in the off-season. How much of it is true? You know, I'll leave that for others to decide about the Balmain side of things versus the West. But their gains cannot be underestimated. Jerome Luai, number 1. Terrell May, Sonny Taruva, Jack Bird, Jarrell Skelton, Royce Hunt. Royce Hunt's probably, of those last 3 names, Royce Hunt's probably the biggest one there for me. And losses, Johnny Bateman, Stefano, Junior Tupou, Isaiah Papali'i, Aiden Caesar, and Bud Sullivan. The key man there, obviously, is Jerome Luai. I'll quickly just go through my reasons why and why not, because I'm really keen to hear yours. The thing for me, why they probably can't make that big jump, is just the defensive numbers. They leaked 750 points last year. To make the jump, if you're finishing in the 8, you probably need to keep that to somewhere around the mid-500 scope. Your defence has to be a lot better. They're going from, you know, north of 30 points a game. They've got to get that right down to the sort of low 20s. Can they do that? I don't think so. It's a big jump to make in one off-season. While they can, is one name and one name only, Jerome Luai. I don't think it really can be underestimated how big of a difference he is going to make for that club. So there's my why they can, why they can't. What's your take on why the West Tigers can make the top 8 season 2025?
Yeah, it's an easy one for me this year for the Tigers. And you mentioned it, Jerome Luai. You've got the consecutive streak going the other way, the wrong way, with the wooden spoons in 2022, 23, 24. Well, he knows what it's like to win a premiership in those same years. So he's bringing championship DNA. We look at the influence that Stephen Crichton had on the Bulldogs last year, the leadership. He's going to be joining a player that he's familiar with in Api Coruscant. He's also bringing his little mate from the wing, Taruva, Sinia Taruva, over with him as well. Some more championship DNA. Some good signings in guys who I think going to improve parts of their game. And you mentioned Royce Hunt. Terrell May, I'm really excited to see what Terrell May can do this year with, I guess, being the taking on the alpha role, playing
I'm
big
excited
minutes
to see how he
in the
plays.
front row. I think it's a really important of the game. We look at the market recently and what these top-tier front rows are getting paid, and him coming over from the Tigers. But Jerome Luai, it starts and ends there because that spine, Shane Richardson come out.
Best in the comp.
He said it's the best in the comp. I'm not going to go that far, but I really do like it. I love Jerome Buller.
Yep.
I think Lachlan Galvin has a huge future in the game. And this will, in my opinion, this year alone will decide or have a huge impact on what happens with Lachlan Galvin moving forward. I think after all the drama that he had last year, it's a wait and see from him, family, management.
I think he's got
how
another
much
year.
of an influence can Jerome Luai have on the field, and with Lachlan Galvin is going to be the key to the future of the Tigers.
You mentioned Terrell May before. He has his comments in the media, and he's done a fair bit of it since leaving the Roosters. But he has really impressed me to the point where I could almost see him being in a very, very senior leadership role, if not captain at the West Tigers. The way as a sort of leader of the pack, some of his comments are, because he's still only young, but he seems like he's got a very, very mature head on his shoulders.
He's done a couple of interviews. He hasn't been shy of, I guess,
which creates pressure, right? Which is why I think he's got that. I think he's willing to go. All right, because he's put it on himself. No one else has really put it on him.
Yep.
But I think it shows that he's really keen to put his money where his mouth is.
Yep, for sure. And I'm going to flip straight over now too to a reason why they can't, and because it involves Terrell May. I would love in terms of we talk about combinations in the spine, going all the way from 1, 7, 9, 13, the Penrith model. But if you look at how successful the Panthers have been during that period, how about the front row rotation that they've had in James Fisher-Harris, Moses Leota, Spencer Leniu before he went over to the Roosters, but then they've also now been able to develop not Lindsay Smith, Liam Henry. So front row for me is crucial. And if they just been able to somehow retain Stefano, I've got a huge rap on Stefano. I reckon there would have been 50% of the fans of the Tigers would have loved Stefano and known what he was capable of. And the other 50% would have been over him because he just didn't live up to all the pressure, all the noise that was around him last year. But if I'm looking at Terrell May, Stefano, and you mentioned Royce Hunt, gee, I like that rotation. Clemmer, Mitchie's mentioned Clemmer. Not so much anymore, Mitchie. I think Clemmer's at the back end. A good vet to have within the team. And another one that they've brought over in Jack Bird. I think he'll have a good veterans presence. But in Stefano, I think, is the reason why I love Melbourne. We're going to talk about Melbourne in a couple of weeks. Stefano is going to be one of those guys where we're going to go, all right, that's the reason he played Origin.
Yeah.
That's the reason he was demanding big money because he's a top-tier front rower, and it would have been nice to see it at the Tigers. And I think with that rotation, outside of a few veterans like Clemmer, like Jack Bird, they've got a really young squad.
Yeah.
Benji's had to debut a lot of players in the last couple of years, so there's a lot of inexperience. And even with, the noise that Terrell May's making, he hasn't yet proven it for a long period of time yet. So it's not like I do think he's going to be a good player, but I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it for a couple of years. So when we did the rankings a couple of weeks ago, I've still got my concerns with the forward pack and the, I guess, the maturity, the age of a lot of players outside of and it's a good position to be in for the Tigers, and it's probably a position they haven't been in for a long time. People have been excited about
after
other
ad.
positions, but it's actually the spine that probably has the least amount of concern for the Tigers in a long time, because we all think
Facts.
Uppy Carousel still a top 3 hooker in the game. Jerome is
it's almost as settled, a spine as you
in the comp. In the comp, it'd be right up there. That's the Tigers for me in 2025. I'm excited to watch them. I'm excited to see year 2 Benji. Benji gets his guy. All good coaches having a captain or a leader that's an extension of the coaching team, the message, and I think Jerome's going to be that for Benji.
Have your say 0457736736. What are you doing with the West Tigers this year? Are they making the 8? Are they not making the 8? Tell us why. We need reasons why. And Panther Jez has texted in, "G'day fellas, a lot of Panthers DNA at the Tigers, so much so they're almost the Dogs. Look at these for all ex-Panthers: Luai, Taruva, Brett Naden, Charlie Staines, Appy. It's just a winning culture, which is it's the exact sort of method that the Doggies have gone after. Doesn't happen in year 1. Didn't happen for the Bulldogs.
No, it didn't.
So it might take a couple. I think.
Well, this isn't year 1 though. Like Naden,
True.
Charlie Staines, Uppy. They could be the examples of Matty Burton going over early. They had probably a couple of players like Kickout come over a year before. Before Critter got over there, and he was sort of the last domino, the last piece that matters. And I guess when you're looking at it too, those two guys in particular, Stephen Crichton and Jerome Lloyd, they're also vocal leaders as well.
Beautiful. All right, that was the West Tigers. Now to jump in to the Bunnies.
All right, I don't really care much for the Bunnies, but I'm excited. Very, very excited. We'll see what happens, I guess. Like, this is genuine excitement, not like 10 in some of the other years. Alright. Last videos. Oh, it's like 40 minutes worth of videos. LA Fires. Um. I think we'll hold it there. Save some of these videos for another time. Anyway, it was good. Good stream. Good stream, guys. Good chat. Good. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Is there any music out? Anything else? Cause low key. I'm so excited for Friday. I think that's when this Friday's when the weekend's meant to have a drop, right? Alright. Flow Rider. The guy's still making music. Damn.
When I'm out of town, I be tripping, I be on one.
Damn.
Huh. Why you taking pictures in that lamb? He don't own one. Shades on my face, not Dior, these are chrome ones. He said he a rapper, I ain't never heard his song once. Fucking with my son, I shoot a nigga dome up. Everybody started acting weird when I glowed up. If I get a deal, I get the max pay. When I argue with my girl, she said an essay. I rap and listen when I'm chilling on my resting. I'm trying to kick it with your harm being messy. Niggas hating on me cause I turn my son up. Little than these niggas, he ain't even turn one. But listen, on my cross, I only wear the fur ones. He said he got a plaque, but he ain't even deserve one. Yeah, I fucked the pit, but that's my friend though.
We out.
Pull up in a beam and I know.
We out.